React Native versus Flutter, which is better for your project? By Procoders. React Native versus Flutter, which is better for your project? When it comes to your next development project, it can be hard to choose between these two popular cross-platform frameworks. We'll help you sort through their pros and cons. Flutter: the basics. Developed by Google in 2017, the framework is designed to work across platforms so it can be expressed on any mobile device or tie into your existing web applications. Thanks in large part to Google's influence, it is considered one of the leading open-source frameworks available today. React Native: the basics. Developed by Facebook in 2015, this framework is a well-used, well-loved cross-platform app development technology that it presents one of the most popular frameworks in the world. Why is it so popular? The answer is mainly its flexibility, because it allows developers to use React and JavaScript side by side with many other native platform abilities to build mobile apps. Flutter versus React Native. Digging deeper. What to choose? Flutter or React Native? First, let's be clear, at Procoders it's not uncommon for us to recommend either framework, as they each have their advantages and disadvantages depending on the project parameters. The key is to understand the features and not what everyone else says are the trends. Let's dig in. Programming language. Dart and the Flutter framework. Google developed Dart as this framework's programming language in 2011. Many say that programming done in Dart is a little faster to run than React Native. It's hard to fault Dart's elegant syntax, but its object-oriented concepts can be tricky to learn. JavaScript and the React Native framework. JavaScript is a breeze to program with, making it one of the most widely used languages in the world, from website designers all the way to software engineers. Thanks to the huge developer community, using JavaScript tutorials abound. Architecture. Flutter Skier. The framework uses Skier 2D graphics rendering library and the Dart language VM in a platform-specific shell. It compiles Dart source code ahead of time, creating native code. This point is critical. Its code is an elegant and speedy solution, integrating seamlessly with iOS or Android. React Native Flux. This framework uses the Flux architecture from Facebook, but it requires a JavaScript bridge to integrate. This inconvenient fact inherently makes app design go a little slower than Dart, and that's a key difference between Flutter and React Native. Installation. Flutter slower to install. To install this framework, you must download the binary for the specific platform you choose from GitHub. If you're installing for macOS, there is even an additional step here, an additional zip file that has to be downloaded and added as a path variable. This is one of the key differences between Flutter and React Native, making it slower and trickier to install. React Native and NPM. When it comes to installation, this framework is easy to love. Installation is seamless using the Node Package Manager if you have a good command of JavaScript. UI and Development API. Flutter. This is a framework that relies primarily on its own customized development language, and that creates a stark difference in the UI development experience between Flutter or React Native. React Native. React Native uses a third-party or custom components. The result can often be a patchwork effect in the code. However, it's important not to make too much of this, because React's JavaScript development language does offer its own set of advantages. However, and a comparison of which is better, Flutter or React Native. Flutter definitely wins the day. Greater than development time. Flutter. In a straight-up development speed contest, which is better, Flutter or React Native? This framework loses. The Dart language is not as widely used or understood by developers. Though most people love its hot reload feature, this framework lacks the support of many text editors and IDEs, which adds more time to the development process. React Native. The difference between Flutter and React Native is JavaScript, pure and simple. And clearly, JavaScript makes development easy and accessible for more web developers and web designers. Code reusability. Flutter. In any comparison between React Native and Flutter, code reusability is a big talking point. In Dart, Flutter's codebase is a lot more reusable. Developers can simply define a single UI widget tree and then reuse the defined logic. Thanks to Google, Flutter has an elegant interface which makes it emerge the winner in this comparison. React Native. In general, this framework will allow you to write code once and apply it to every platform. But compatibility on every type of mobile app platform isn't always guaranteed, often requiring developers to load a different set of components that work. Quality assurance. Flutter. Like other programs developed by Google, Flutter offers many integrated quality control testing features. Want to test an individual widget? You can. Want to run integration tests? No problem. All these capabilities come on board, and even better, it provides lots of detailed testing documentation. React Native. This framework is woefully low on integrated unit test features that said developers can generally fill in this gap by using third-party frameworks like Jest and Detox. It's an add-on but not that big of a problem to integrate. Ecosystem and community support. MPHASIS greater than Flutter. In a comparison between React Native and Flutter on ecosystem size, Flutter will lose every time. But don't despair, the community of developers using it is growing fast. React Native. On the market since 2015, it gained popularity for the ease of its JavaScript programming. Now it has a developer ecosystem of more than 10,000, an enormous online database of tutorials, and its own developer conferences held all over the world. DevOps support. Flutter. When evaluating DevOps in Flutter or React Native, most people would agree that React Native is the clear winner. However, what Flutter lacks in community support, it gains in C and CD official documentation. React Native. The Facebook connection has ensured React Native has enormous third-party libraries, help guides, third-party support and more. React Native is the clear winner in Dev, Ops support hands down, and developers enjoy using it. Performance. Flutter. In a Flutter versus React Native performance comparison, it wins the race, but this answer is not as clear-cut as it appears. Yes, it runs faster than its rival, it doesn't have JavaScript bridges slowing it down, and that saves development time. React Native. Again, the Flutter versus React Native performance comparison will always come out in favor of Flutter due to the elegance and power of its design. It's one of the key reasons many developers are now considering it a future-forward trend to develop in Flutter. Release. Flutter. To compare Flutter to React Native on release protocols, Flutter wins every time. Why? Because Flutter has a seamless release process that will make it easy to get an app into the App Store or Google Play. Greater than React Native. In this framework's defense, its release process is a fairly standard one. The only problem is it's entirely manual. Any automatic deployment that is done requires third-party tools. That makes the release process considerably more labor-intensive, and that slows down development speed. Documentation. Flutter. A key difference between Flutter and React Native is its documentation with Dart. Flutter has invested a great deal in its native documentation, and it shows. It's easy to love the documentation guides, which makes it easy to transition from another framework or optimize a current project. React Native. Look under the hood of its onboard documentation and you'll soon see it is spotty and poorly done. In fact, to get the kind of documentation most projects need, developers often end up going to third-party sources. It's a major point against the framework when you compare Flutter and React Native on documentation. Flutter truly will win every time. Flutter versus React Native. Or React Native versus Flutter. Bottom line is, there is no universal better framework, each project is unique. The framework to choose will depend completely on the project's parameters and the business needs surrounding it. As you can see, there's a lot to consider when you make a comparison between Flutter and React Native. Our managers at ProCoders would love to help you sort it all out. Subscribe our channel and read more about React Native versus Flutter, which is better for your project, at ProCoders blog.